but yeah, it's not up to me, and we will see what will happen. Yeah, I think there are still a lot of players from last year as well, so everybody knows how it feels to win, and the new players, they're also adapting to this mentality, and I think it's going in the right direction. But yeah, I think from now this season really starts with the community shield coming up, and yeah, we really have to be ready for that.
Are you thinking you need further reinforcements as well?
Further reinforcements?
Further reinforcements, further players to be brought into that squad?
That's not up to me, you know. If the club brings new players in, that's good. I think to bring in even more quality is always good for the competition, and also for the squad depth. But yeah, it's not up to me, and we will see what will happen.
Welcome to Anfield Transfer Zone. Big moves are brewing at Liverpool, Isak, Wirtz, and a potential clear-out of 7 players. Stay ahead of all the transfer drama and exciting updates from Anfield. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a transfer update. Alexander Isak slammed amid Liverpool transfer interest. Have a little bit of respect. Liverpool holds an interest in Alexander Isak, but former Premier League winger Shaun Wright-Phillips has slammed the striker for not going on tour to Asia this summer. Liverpool transfer target Alexander Isak has been slammed for not training with Newcastle United in the last week or so. The Swede opted against going on tour with his teammates in Asia, and former Premier League winger Shaun Wright-Phillips says he has been disappointed by Isak staying at home. The Newcastle striker was training alone in Spain last week while his teammates were in Singapore and South Korea. I think he's handled it very badly because everyone knows you want out, but you should go and train, Wright-Phillips told Ace Odds. You're not affecting the club, you're affecting the players you've been to war with for the last 3 seasons. Isak had a minor thigh injury before the tour, and manager Eddie Howe confirmed that he asked not to travel with Newcastle. But Wright-Phillips says that is no excuse. Have a little bit of respect for your teammates, turn up to train, and then go home, he said. You want to play football at the end of the day, and the fans have been unbelievable for him. I feel like he should have just showed up. Everyone's been in a position in football where they don't want to be somewhere. But there's only some who don't show up for training. He's obviously been advised to do that because the person I've seen talk and be around in Newcastle doesn't seem like that's in his character. And we're seeing little bits of Isak now, the way he's handling this by not turning up to training. Before Newcastle will soften its stance on selling Isak, it will need to source a replacement. But it remains to be seen whether or not the Magpies can convince Benjamin Sesko to pick St. James's Park over Manchester United. He's like any other player, Howe said this week when he was asked if Isak will return to training this week with Newcastle now back in the UK. We would expect him to come in and train as normal. There is also another way to look at this, he added. You have to earn the right to train with us. We're Newcastle United. The player has a responsibility here to be part of a team and part of a squad. You have to act in the right way. So that is also at play here. We will make sure that any player does that to earn the right to train with the group. No player can expect to act poorly and train with the group as normal. Liverpool.com says, the suggestion seems to be that Isak felt Newcastle had promised him one thing heading into the summer, but then changed its stance. There is plenty more to run on this saga, it seems. Will Wright breaks silence on Liverpool transfer after earning opportunity at Anfield. New Liverpool signing, Will Wright made his Anfield bow alongside some superstars. He has spoken for the first time since making the move, posting online. Liverpool considers letting 7 players depart as transfer priority becomes clear. Liverpool is still likely to conduct more incoming and outgoing transfer business this summer, and priorities are becoming clearer on both sides of the coin. Liverpool could stop all business now, and it would still have been one of the most eventful transfer windows in recent history. Florian Wirtz represents a caliber of signing that the Reds do not usually make, and he is just one of a number of exciting additions to have taken the overall spend well above $300 million. In defense, Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez could be the fullbacks of the future, although Connor Bradley may have something to say about that. In attack, Hugo Ekitike has joined Wirtz, creating a formidable threat, and yet, we are not done. The Alexander Isak chase is ongoing, taking yet another twist today when Man United formalized its interest in Benjamin Sesko, a move with potentially significant ramifications at Liverpool. Were Liverpool to still succeed in getting a deal for Isak over the line, Arne Slot's new-look attack would be mind-boggling. Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, and a gaggle of promising youngsters like Rio Ngumoha and Ben Doak would be an embarrassment of riches. Such a front line would only elevate the team's status as the favorite to retain its title and lift the Premier League once again, but the remaining incoming transfer priorities may nonetheless lie at the other end of the pitch. Per The Athletic, Isak is being pursued because he is special. Were that push to fail, Liverpool would not automatically look for another striker. On the other hand, Slot would ideally add another centre-back before deadline day. Unlike in attack, that is a case of being short on numbers. In the final round of friendlies before the season gets underway, Ibrahima Konate was the only fit option. Slot made do with Trey Nyoni, Andy Robertson, and Wataru Endo. The latter is considered a genuine option in a pinch, as is Ryan Gravenberch, but it's clear that Liverpool could do with another signing in that position as a priority. On the outgoing front, as many as 7 players could still leave. That shouldn't be unduly surprising, with a net spend of around $235 million already and a deal for Isak being explored. There's no indication that Darwin Núñez's future is directly tied to the Isak pursuit, with Liverpool likely to cash in regardless. But it's true that he would be able to raise a reasonable chunk of the fee it would take to tempt Newcastle to sell, with Al Hilal making him a priority target recently. Other departures would likely include more peripheral players. Tyler Morton has only ever made 2 Premier League appearances for Liverpool and 14 in all competitions, and yet he is on the verge of netting the club $20 million in a switch to Lyon. Less advanced, but also representing potential pure profit. From the academy, James McConnell and Lucas Stevenson are both considering their futures. They are expected to go out on loan as things stand, but permanent moves are possible amid growing interest. The other notable youngster is Ben Doak. As things stand, Liverpool has put a decision on hold as it waits to see what kind of permanent transfer interest crystallizes. If a deal is done, Liverpool can expect to bank in excess of $26.5 million, having rejected offers of that value in January. West Ham and Wolves are believed to be among a long queue of interested parties, per David Lynch. Completing the list of 7, Kostas Tsimikas and Federico Chiesa could yet depart. Both were peripheral last season, and the signings already completed. This summer are likely to bump them both further down the pecking order. Chiesa is considered likely to leave this month, whereas Tsimikas is still weighing up his options. But with Kerkez and Andy Robertson now presumably ahead of him, nobody would begrudge the Greek a move. So there is clearly lots still to happen, with the Community Shield now just days away. A starting ascent is beginning to take shape, although even that could still change, and the wider squad could still undergo some major trimming. Even outside of those 7 players, there are still question marks over the likes of Harvey Elliott, another who could fetch a potentially major fee. Lots has already happened on the transfer front, but the drama is only just beginning. Liverpool told it could sign missing link that would unlock special Florian Wirtz connection. Liverpool holds an interest in Alexander Isak this summer and has already signed Florian Wirtz. It's been an incredibly exciting period for the Reds. In the transfer market, former Liverpool defender John Arne Rice says Alexander Isak would be the perfect signing for his old team this summer, not least because of the potential for him to link up with Florian Wirtz. The German playmaker arrived. For a club record fee of around $155 million, $116 million earlier this summer. If Newcastle United can be convinced to sell Isak, then the fee would eclipse that amount. As it stands, Newcastle is trying to do a deal for the RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. It is said to value Isak at as much as $199 million, $150 million, and has so far shown no intention of losing its star man. I think Isak would suit Liverpool's style perfectly because of his movement, his runs in behind, and his finishing, Risa said. Look at Darwin Núñez. In the last couple of years, he's had so many chances from making those runs. If Núñez had a bit more luck or composure in front of goal, he'd have scored an unbelievable amount. I think Alexander Isak is a step up. He's calmer, more deadly in front of goal, and maybe smarter with his movement. So I think Isak fits Liverpool better, especially with the way we play. I get why Liverpool are going all in for him. He could be that missing link up front. Wirtz made his first appearance at Anfield for Liverpool on Monday, starring in a victory over the Spanish side Athletic Club, and Risa is looking forward to seeing more of him in the coming months. Just look at what he's done at Leverkusen. He's unbelievable, Risa, speaking OLBG, said. But coming to the Premier League is a different step. The speed, sharpness, and quality here is another level, both in your team and your opposition. So it's a different ball game. The money spent on him makes sense because every club wanted him. I think he fits perfectly in terms of vision, technique, and style. Even in pre-season, you could see how he's trying to find Mo Salah between the lines with his passing. That's why I think Isak would also be perfect. The connection between them would be special. Liverpool.com says, the idea of adding Isak to an already mouth-watering attack is hugely exciting. Wirtz and Salah looked very sharp against Athletic Club, while Cody Gakpo scored twice. Hugo Ekitike was very good as well, while there is Rio Numoha to think about. If Isak does arrive, Arne Slot will have lots of options and different ways of playing. Arne Slot backs Florian Wirtz to fill void, left by Liverpool star, who quit this summer. Trent Alexander-Arnold left Liverpool for Real Madrid this summer, and Reds boss Arne Slot believes new signing. Florian Wirtz can replace the fullback's creativity. Arne Slot believes record signing Florian Wirtz will replace the creativity in his team lost with Trent Alexander-Arnold's departure. Right back Alexander-Arnold left for Real Madrid this summer ahead of his contract expiring at the end of June. Connor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong will tussle it out for his position, but neither will have the same creativity as the departed fullback. Yet. Reds boss Slot is not concerned after they broke the bank to sign one of the world's best young creative midfielders in 110 pro man Wirtz, who left Bayer Leverkusen to move to Anfield. The German international scored 57 goals and provided 65 assists in 197 appearances for Bayer Leverkusen, after Wirtz's Anfield debut in a 3-2 win over Athletic Bilbao on Monday. Slot said, I think there's always room for improvement in every department. Like I said, we've added a few, in my opinion, extra weapons. So Florian Wirtz has a lot of creativity in the final third. We've lost with Trent Alexander-Arnold, a lot of creativity from the back. Trent's crosses and picking out runners was so special. I think Flo has this quality as well in a totally different position, but he brings that creativity, the pace of Hugo Ekitike, the pace of both fullbacks, Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong today. Liverpool are set to take their summer spending to over 400 millers if they land Alexander Isak in the coming weeks. They've made a huge investment in the squad with the arrivals of Wirtz, Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, Georgi Mamardashvili, and Hugo Ekitike. So far, the defending Premier League champions are not afraid to spend big. Our competitors are not sitting still, added Slot, whose side faced Crystal Palace in Sunday's Community Shield before their league opener against Bournemouth a week on Friday. Not only they try to improve as well, but they have also made a lot of signings like we all have done, so that's why it's going to be a very interesting Premier League in the upcoming year again.